Right, before we conclude tonight, we'll just be giving some certificates of appreciation for some important individuals. Sir, may I request you to hand over the certificates? First certificate of appreciation is presented to Dr. Emiliano Dohan for imparting his valuable knowledge as an inspirational speaker during the awards night of the BCYF Innovation Awards 2023, given this 24th of February 2023 in Club Filipino, San Juan, Metro Manila. Signed, AYAP Founder and Chairman, Benita and Catalina Foundation. The next certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Jonathan Juan Moreno for giving his invaluable time and effort as the chairman of the final judging panel of the BCYF Innovation Awards 2023, given this 24th of February 2023 on the occasion of the BIA 2023 Awards Night in Club Filipino, San Juan, Metro Manila. Signed, AYAP, Founder and Chairman, Benita and Catalina Foundation. Thank you very much. And to conclude our program for tonight, may I call on the Executive Director of the Pilipinas Shell Foundation Incorporated. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Sebastian C. Quiñones Jr.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, so it's down to me before we go on holiday. But again, as JD had mentioned, it's a significant night. Yeah, and I guess for Dr. Uy, it's more than significant. But for all of you who are here tonight, it's a great way to spend a holiday afternoon or evening together to award the innovators in the country. Of course, to Benita and Catalina Foundation, walang katupas-tupas. Yeah. Since 1993, 30 years this year. Doing it, and I'm glad. And as Dr. said, your parents must be very, very proud of you, and so are we. So please continue on in doing all of these activities, and we as a partner, we're a partner. Filipino Shell Foundation is here to assist you. Innovation is something that is really a value to everyday life in the Philippines, and we always try to do that. In a way, individually, and sometimes it's forced on us. And I think the biggest example is the pandemic, where we all had to innovate and try to figure out the way how we can survive during this very difficult period. And I think one of the fastest ones was technology, especially on IT. And so it is forced upon us, but in other ways, it's also something that, as the doctor had mentioned, it's something that's endemic in every person. You want to really try to be able to make something different. You want to make a change. You want to make an impact to the lives around you. And this is something where we, as a group, Filipino Shell and Filipino Shell Foundation, are really wanting to achieve something. In fact, it dovetails with our purpose of making sure that we can make communities more responsible and productive members of society. And though we have a number of SDGs that we do, the part about community development, innovation, STEM, is something that we are very, very focused on. We have a program called Shell Livewire, and this is where the funding actually comes. So it comes from Mothership, which is Shell, and the brand is called Shell Livewire. And what we do also is we look at ways where we can assist startups. And so, just like what you've done now in Usher, so we are now getting into a phase where we would definitely love to see you get into the next stages of that, and how you could also go into a global arena in presenting what you have done. For those who didn't make it this time around, please continue on, because there's more activities and there are more times when you can make your pitch, not only within our realm, but I've also worked with the guys in UP, also trying to figure out where we can nurture the innovators that are around us. Though the Livewire program does a lot of social innovations, we also are wanting to ensure that it goes not only from a project to something which can benefit the community and eventually the society. I'd just like to give you an example. In Palawan, we had a group there which we nurtured, and they were doing things, would you believe, with waste tires. Yeah? The group is called Mag Wheels. And what they've done is that from their used tires and the like, they were able to find a way to make them into, what you believe, furniture, wallets, and other gadgets and little things, which they made very, very appealing to the consumer. And through their activities, they now have created more than 40% increase in the jobs that are there in the Palawan area since the start of the program. So that's just an example of innovation going from an example to then becoming a social enterprise to help the Filipinos in their particular area. In 2022, the BCYF Innovation Awardee was Dr. Clarissa Ivon Domingo, Blitzkrieg Animal Diagnostic Center. Yeah. And if you just remember that, because Asian swine flu is something that is a scourge within the country. And what she was able to do was make rapid test kits, yeah, to determine whether whether the swine in that particular area had a problem. Yeah. And would you believe that, that seemed a little bit of, nearly like COVID testing, di ba? You have a test kit, and you have it or you don't. And this is the one for swine flu. The 1 million pesos that we had provided from Shell Livewire was able to improve their business infrastructure. You believe that they have a molecular laboratory that they set up and which they were able to further develop. So again, having we were very proud to assist in this, because having a concept that went again into something that was able to be put into the market and then now expand even further is what we are all wanting to achieve. And I'm sure that our innovators here are also wanting to achieve that. Start small, get into a commercial activity, make it hopefully countrywide, and then maybe even global. So even in Dr. Clarissa's case, they participated in the 3-month Shell Livewire Acceleration Program. And after that, because of the fact that they got a little bit more inputs in terms of market strategy and being able to do their elevator pitches, they were featured as, and I just need to make sure that I get it right, the top 1,000 startups during the Philippine Startup Week in 2022. And when that happens, because when I participated there, you have all of the guys who are doing venture capital, the VCs. Yeah? And they're the ones that go, okay, you've now gone from a phase where you have your angel investors and you start to get into your next phases. And then hopefully you get to the phase where you're actually the one that's going to the banks to get a couple of $1 million or even whatever that you can then expand to ensure that your business is truly sustainable. So think about that process and continue on in ensuring that you yourselves are trying to get to that step going further. There will always be roadblocks, there will always be failures, there will always be, okay, maybe this time, but continue on, and who knows, just a little bit of tweaking here and there, you will actually achieve it. We're very much looking forward now, because this has gone through now the first phase, to support Dr. Hui in the Shell Livewire program. So you now continue on in that journey with us as we go forward. And we, not only yourself, but we're actually looking at expanding this to work with the DOST, TI group, the DOST TAPI, and supporting the Philippine Startup Week. A lot of these fruits that the Livewire cohorts are able to do get into a sort of phase where we are also looking at getting them into the Shell value chain. Meaning that the company themselves are looking at how we can use those products within the activities that Shell is doing to ensure sustainability even going further, by giving them that bit of a space of having a market. That's most important. You need to have a market to be able to move your innovation. And so that is a commitment that Shell is doing now for all of those innovators that get through the process and are actually found to be viable. So I'm hoping that as we go forward in partnership with the BCYF, that we continue this great program going forward. Shell and Filipina Shell Foundation as a group know that we cannot do this alone. We need to be able to have strong partners who can take on the roles of the activities where it's not core for us. Yeah? And we therefore are really grateful to Tony for ensuring that we have this partnership going forward. So, to the 4 finalists, congratulations. To the winner, yeah, more than congratulations. But looking forward to the further support that we can give to expand your product. And to all of us tonight that are here, we really want to thank you all for gracing the event and showing how important this particular activity is in the lives of ourselves and also for our country. So with that, again, maraming salamat. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Sir Sebastian Quinones, the Executive Director of Pilipinas Shell Foundation Incorporated.